kind of an update on our bees. It is March the 22nd. March. It is January 22nd. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, if you can't tell, I've kind of been under the weather. I'm still hoarse from a cold, but I wanted to give an update. We had some single-digit days as far as temperature goes, and so what I did is I put some of this half-inch foam insulation around the hives for that time. I'm just trying to get these 3 hives through the winter. They were all kind of given to me at the end of the year, so I was concerned they may not have enough stores and not enough bees, but there's a lot of activity today. It's about 40, well, it's 47 at home in the shade. This is in the sun, and those trees there, they kind of shade the north wind. So as windy as it is, if you can see the grass blowing across the field there, as windy as it is there, it's not hardly windy at all here. I mean, every now and then there's a little gust that comes through. A lot of activity. I've got a feeder set over there with some 2-to-1 sugar in it, and I saw a few bees around it, not very many at all. It's kind of surprising. These two hives, the two big hives, deep boxes, they have top feeders in them, and they still have plenty of 2-to-1 syrup. I want to try to crack these open and kind of take a peek in. I took a peek in the nuke a little while ago when I took the insulation off, and that hive, the nuke hive, looks like it's, gosh, I've probably doubled or tripled in bees. I don't know if it's possible that they're still hatching out bees and she's still laying, in the middle of winter or not. But I mean, it looked to me like there was a lot more bees in there than when I buttoned it up. What I wanted to do, I wanted to get the insulation off of there so the sun could heat up the hives during the day. I was afraid that insulation was keeping the sun from heating it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack these open. Since I'm using my phone, I may have to set this down for just a second to use both of my hands. I don't know if I can set this up there or not. I need a stand for it. But okay, I accidentally pushed the button. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to set this down. Actually, I think I might be able to lean this up here against that. I don't know how that's going to be in the camera view. This top feeder, I don't know if I should leave this on here or not. I don't know if they're using it at all. The sugar water, I'm afraid it's crystallizing, and it's going to be solid here if I don't get it off. But I don't know for sure. Okay, there's the cluster. Oops. That fell. Okay, there's my cluster. There's the top feeder. It's got some bees in it, but I think all that is just crystallized sugar, and if they were going to use it, they could, but right now they're just pretty much clustered on the queen, I'm pretty sure. But there's still several bees in there. I'm looking pretty good as far as number of bees go there. So I'm gonna button this back up before I let them lose all their heat. The sun, the way the sun is out today, it should heat these hives up pretty good today. It's supposed to be sunny all day, and I think it's supposed to get up into the 50s. So it's supposed to get even warmer than it is now. This nuke, I was afraid they didn't have any stores at all. I mean, they had very low stores. So what I did is I made some fondant and some pollen patties. And I put one of each in this nuke before I buttoned it up. When I looked in it, the other day when I put the insulation on it, they hadn't started using it yet, but today they're using it, using both of them. So for now, everything's okay there. As long as we don't have some really cold days again, and if we do, I'm gonna come back out here and put the insulation back on it. I think I can get them through the winter as far as feeding them. Get them through the winter with enough bees to keep themselves warm. That's another thing. So I don't know. I'm gonna try, but we'll have to look and see how that works out. This one is the second hive I got last year. This is actually the oldest hive I have. Had somebody give this hive to me. They're not using hardly any of the sugar water. I think I can see some bees in there. They may be using it, but they're not using it very much. I'm gonna try to move this feeder over just a second, just enough to get some video. I didn't bring my hive tool, so I'm having to use a machete to do some prying. This is kind of awkward too, because that feeder's still got a lot of sugar water in it. I think this hive here is the one that had the most stores of all of the three, so it may be okay on stores for now. I just hope that I haven't lost too many bees. Oh no, we got bees. We got several bees. Yeah, we got several bees. That's about the way it looked during the summer. So I'm happy with that. So far we have, I think, plenty of bees in each hive. Hopefully today, since it's warm, they'll get out and they'll do their maintenance as far as dragging out their dead bees and taking cleansing flights and that kind of stuff. I know they're not using the sugar water feeder that's over there, but they are tearing up this pollen feeder here. Look at this pollen feeder. I probably filled that about halfway full of pollen. It was back when it was really cold. They weren't flying, so just in the last few days it's got warm enough for them to fly. They're tearing up the pollen, so hopefully I'll kind of get a jump start on spring as far as having number of bees, so I can do some splits. I bought a bunch of boxes, unassembled boxes, the other day that I would really like to be able to fill up with bees. So that's the way we stand. And for right now, there's a lot of activity. There's not as much activity right now because I think they all went up in the hive when I started messing with it. But there's a lot of activity compared to what there was. And there's still got plenty of bees, so I'm happy so far. If we can keep from having any single-digit temperature days, I think I ought to be able to get these bees through the winter. So, just a quick update. Brent, maybe we'll get some splits off these after all. I think I may be able to get them through the winter. So, all right, I gotta take this glove off to turn off the camera. All right, have a good one.